Welcome to the Chronicles of a Virgo podcast, a podcast centered around uplifting and motivating others to be a better and healed version of themselves. Each week, we will dive into a hard topic pertaining to life experiences, mental health, healing, and even trending news. We may even have a few friends join us here and there. Now, here is your favorite Virgo host, Shakita Johnson.
What is up, y'all, and welcome back to another pop-up edition of Chronicles of a Virgo podcast. And as usual, I'm your favorite Virgo host, Shakita Johnson. And thank you guys for joining me back for another pop-up edition episode. If you guys have been following along, this past Monday, I released part 1 of Kita and Jess's pop-up convo. If you guys have not checked that out, please by all means go check that out. We just wanted to come through during my podcast break hiatus to just have a conversation. And this edition is part 2 today that is coming out. But I had a small disclaimer that I wanted to make before we get into the episode. But again, thank you guys for joining me back. Thank you guys for all the feedback from the first episode. Me and Jess really appreciate it. I continue to appreciate and just so grateful for all the tremendous support that I have been continuing to receive, even in my off time of podcasting. I greatly appreciate it. I'm really thankful that I have connected with so many like-minded individuals and just good people in general. The more conversations I have with people, the more people I meet, it just gives me more hope that, it is good people out there in the world. And shout out to all of you lovely podcasters, content creators that I do talk to. Shout out to all the supporters that have been continuing to support Chronicles of a Virgo podcast, that tap in each week to get into some conversations or to get into my business, whatever it is. I love you all, and I'm truly thankful for all the support. But before we get into this episode, which is our bonus feature of part 2 of Jess and I conversation, my disclaimer is that, as I mentioned in the first episode, I believe, we've been having a lot of bad weather. So during the time of us recording this portion of the episode, the weather was bad. And at night, we experienced a bad storm here in Baltimore. So the Wi-Fi was more so on my end. Wi-Fi was just like all over the place. And we did not realize until after the episode was already recorded. However, there are no sound issues, but it's more visual. So if you are watching us on YouTube or Spotify, you may see a little bit of glitching in the video. But like I said, the sound is perfectly fine, but it's just a little bit glitching. But please, by all means, listen to the whole entire conversation. Like I said, this is a bonus feature because we getting into my business. My business. Now I know I always say that, but this is like really my business. Like Jess really made me get vulnerable. But I love Jess. Shout out to my good sis. Thank you for everything that you contribute to my life and to Chronicles of a Virgo podcast. Like, I cannot thank you enough, and you know that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that part of the conversation. But yeah, and I'm not going to pop back on with any more updates because I can talk and I don't want to keep you guys that much longer. However, I do just want to say, if you guys are not following me on YouTube, please go and follow Chronicles of a Virgo podcast on YouTube. Social medias, Chronicles of a Virgo podcast on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever your preference social media platform is. Please by all means follow, because I will post updates when season 3 is going to start. If and when I'm starting to do recordings with guests and all of those lovely things, any updates that happen with me or the show, you can always check them out on social media as well as YouTube, because that's where I do post some stuff as well. So if you're not locked in with me on one of those social medias, please come tap in with me. Also, I have some wonderful premiere opportunities that are about to come out. So again, if you don't want to miss those things, definitely make sure you are tapping in with me. And if you're a person that do want to connect This one braid is like all over the place. Sorry, guys. If you want to connect with me for my upcoming season 3, please DM me, preferably on Twitter or Instagram. I don't do Facebook DMs, or just email me at chroniclesofavirgo22@gmail.com, and we can see what we can get into as far as recording goes for season 3. Like I said, I don't have an official launch date for season 3. I'm just kind of going with the flow of things right now and just really getting my mental health and my whole wellness together. And I know you guys respect that, and I appreciate you for your patience and just continuing to rock with your girl. Okay. So I think I got all of the church announcements out of the way. Again, thank you guys for coming back and tapping in with this pop-up episode. Like me and Jess said, we may or may not do another one next month, but you got to be tapped in somewhere to know if it's going to come out. And if you are listening on the audio, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you're listening, please make sure you're subscribed to the show, and make sure that you leave a girl review. Don't have to be nothing long, drawn out, something short, sweet, simple, or just send me your feedback. I love to know what you guys, your honest truth, what you think of the show. What can I change? What can I do better? I'm always open for criticism. That helps me grow as a person, but it helps me continue my platform the way that I've been doing things, or do I need to switch things up for the next season? So I'm open to all of those suggestions. Again, thank you guys. And again, shout out to my family, my podcasting family out there. I can go through all your names, but listen, I don't want nobody to feel no type of way. But you guys know who you are. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, okay? And all the supporters, the ones that I know of and the ones that are silently listening and watching, I love y'all too. And your support means everything to me. I hope you guys know that. And I'm gone. Your girl is gone. Enjoy the episode. Is the dating pool tainted?
Well, so I didn't necessarily have a similar conversation with my friend Brandon recently. Me and him recently did a live, but we did have a conversation that centered around a lot of relationship related types of questions and stuff. He was just running down a list of different questions and stuff that actually triggered some of the stuff that we're talking about today. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's not necessarily that it's tainted per se, because obviously if we're good people, then we know there are other good people out there. You know what I mean? It just seems like it's harder to find genuine connections. You know what I mean? Like, and that could be as simple as just the places that you're choosing to be in, or the places that you're meeting people. Like maybe it's just not the right environment. Maybe it's something within you that needs to get aligned before you are going to be able to attract that person. You know, it could be a lot of different things. A part of it, I do think, is generational. And I'm talking from like personal experience, as far as like, I am 36, soon to be 37. So my preference is close to my age. So whether that's maybe a couple years younger, a couple years older, I've never like been into guys that were significantly older than me, and definitely not anybody significantly younger. I feel like in recent times, for some reason, I've been attracting people that are significantly younger, like in their 20s, and then on the opposite end, significantly older, 40s. Yikes. And it's like, of course, I'm not so strict where I'm like, the guy has to be 36 and da-da-da-da-da. No, we all got our preferences. But I guess my point is, it's probably a reason why I'm attracting one extreme and the other, and they're both the things that I don't actually want. You know what I mean? Maybe that means it's something within me that I have to, some work I have to do, or a path that I have to get on before that right person kind of comes in my direction. But it's funny because it's like, as far as my just general male friends, I know great men. You know what I mean? I know great men are out there, great men exist. So it's not like I personally have great examples of males all around me, and I always have, whether it's my family, whether it's friends, people I went to school with, even a couple of people that I work with. But for some reason, it seems like the ones that approach me in the dating or romantic sense, I always kind of end up in similar types of situations. And that's like primarily with guys who could be good guys, but for some reason they're never ready for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, damn, like, why do I end up in these situations where it's like somebody that had been ready, we would be good, things would be good. Somebody I could definitely build and grow with. But once again, I always have to put the accountability on myself as far as, okay, at the point that I realize that's the type of situation it is, I have to make certain decisions as far as not letting those situations go. But so far, until that person is able to show me that they do want to take things seriously, because at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that somebody's doing anything malicious against you, but at the end of the day, people will do what you allow them to do. So it's tainted in the sense you got some people out here doing some ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Some people got some ridiculous expectations. They be approaching you in a way they ain't got no business approaching nobody, but definitely like, I don't put myself out there as somebody who just accepts any and everything. Like, I don't even act like that. I know I don't put that type of energy out there. So some people, they just gonna try you. It just don't even matter. It don't matter what you're doing, not doing. They just gonna try you.
Do you think I put that type of energy out there? Like that I just be doing anything and everything? Like, do you think I put that type of energy out there?
I wouldn't say that you necessarily put that energy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's different. Like I said, we have to evaluate why it is we may attract certain things. Like, once again, I'll just reflect back to myself. I come from a family of people who kind of like have healing energy, I guess you can say. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So when you have healing energy, and Shakita is saying that because she know my family. But when you have healing energy, really going to attract everything, because it's like there are a lot of people out there who really need that, and I guess they just kind of naturally gravitate towards it, and it's almost like they kind of get what they need and then they go about their business. So it's like, that's unfortunate for me, because here I am like, oh, it's not that I feel the need to heal somebody, like, but it's just a natural thing within me. So if you come into my life, anybody that's in my space, you're afforded some level of access to my gift. Because what's the point of me in your life if I'm not going to be an asset to you? The thing with me is the favor just isn't returned. Not that I need somebody to heal me, but it's just like what I give out, I just don't get back. But going back to you saying like about the energy I don't think you necessarily put out there that you just with any and everything, but obviously you might end up in a situation that might lead somebody to believe you with any and everything, depending on what it is they're giving you and what it is you may be accepting from them. Doesn't mean you're initially putting that out.
Like, so to answer the initial question, like, I personally feel like you said, I think that the dating pool, I don't think it's necessarily fully tainted, maybe partially, right? And I say that because you see every day almost that people are dating, people are in partnerships with people are happy, or what it appears like to be on social media, people are happy, so and in order to find that, you have to put yourself out there to some extent. So I don't think it's like fully dating. I mean, I don't think the dating pool is fully tainted, and I also think it matters where you're meeting people, but also I think the expectations, like you said, that people put on other people during those timelines are also part of the problem. And I saw like a post on Twitter the other day, and the girl was like, the dating pool ain't tainted, it's y'all niggas, like y'all need to go do some internal self-work. And I was like, you know what, that is true, because like, not like that was me, like I had things that I needed to correct within myself, like after my last breakup and all that, like like that was a roller coaster ride or whatever. Now when it comes to like the type of people that I personally attract, like what my prayer was, like, God, please don't send me no more projects. Like I just, if you gonna send someone to me for whatever reason, because I have a healing nature and what I can do for a person, just let them stay. If it's meant, like, I don't want to feel like everybody that comes into my life, the only benefit they get from me is me helping them heal, right? Because it's not fully me doing it, like you have to do the work as well. Like me helping them get to that point, and then they taking everything that I put into them and they go give it to somebody else, because that's what happened in my last relationship. Like, damn, bitch, like why couldn't you do that with me? Like this is all like this is all I was asking you to do. It's like like these simple things, you know. And I understand, like people have told me that too, like when you have a certain light about you and a healing nature, you're going to attract people that need that. And I'm just like, I understand it. And like it can be a gift and a curse sometimes though, like you said, because like you don't necessarily need for someone to complete you, right? Like I don't need someone to complete me, because I can be complete and whole and happy all by myself. But what I like, that partnership of someone that we can do those things together, absolutely, but not at the sake of you stressing me out and disturbing my peace, you know. And I think like personally, just thinking about like this last year, these last couple of months, the individuals that I have been like approached by, you know, it's just weird. Like I don't know if it's just my expectations for like what I'm expecting, where I'm at the age of my life. Like I'm about to be 34, so the things that I tolerated when I was 24, I don't want that. Like, you know, I'm looking for longevity, and I feel like that whole, well, we could just see where it goes. Like, I'm not down for that. You know, like I don't want that. I don't want no, like, I don't want none of that, like, that quick stuff. Like I want to use the proper words. I don't want none of that. And I feel like a lot of times people just want to play in your face, you know? And when you put your foot down, they just despair. And that's perfectly fine. Like you wasn't my person anyway. So yeah, I don't think that it's fully tainted. I think that people just really need to take a closer look in the mirror at themselves and figure out, like you said, like why am I continuing to attract the certain people? And also realize that sometimes our expectations can be so high that we may miss the blessing that's right in front of us. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, well, maybe that person is not for them. Like, but you never know, because like you're seeking something else, but the answers you need is right for that person is right there, you know? Because you know me, like I kind of always been a person that like, I'm not going to look for nothing. Everything's just going to come to me. I mean, that's just how it kind of always happened. Right. But it, like we had, when we talked last year during the candid conversations, and we were saying, oh, the dating is so intimidating. Like, do you feel like it's still intimidating now? Like all these months later, you still feel the same?
I do, but it's because I still feel the same way about, I've never been deep into dating. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I can't say like if I like really open myself up to it, if I'll change. But it's like I feel like that's just like a true part of my personality. Like I've never been one to want to entertain multiple people. That's just not how I roll. Like I don't have the energy for that. And not saying that's what dating has to be, but it's like obviously dealing with one person at a time seems like it hasn't been successful. You know what I mean? So it's like it basically makes you feel like you have to do things a certain way in order to get certain results. And it's like obviously we know nothing is a one size fits all. So it's like I feel like I'm just tired. And it's like I'm tired in the sense that, you know, just the thought of possibly having to getting to know multiple people only for it not to work out. And it's like not everything is meant to work out, because you can meet somebody, think that's like your fairy tale ending. Like, you know, I don't believe in fairy tales, but you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You meet somebody, y'all get together, y'all could be together for a long time and it's still not working out in the end. And I'm not so focused on like, oh, I gotta meet somebody and it has to be forever, because that's just not how life goes, you know. But at the same token, it's like you just don't want to feel like time was wasted, you know what I mean? And it's like I'm already pre-exhausted by the thought, really opening up myself to the idea of like truly making myself available to let somebody in, even though my life goals, you know, include a partner, because I want to have a family, I want to have a child. So I have to do something to meet that person. You know, I can't just sit and twiddle my thumbs and think that it's going to be dropped in my lap. But it's like I'm pre-exhausted by the thought of going through the process.
Yeah. So do you think like being like, do you think it's hard being single in today's world?
To me, that's a yes and a no. No, depending on just simply who you are and just where you are within your own personal journey and within yourself. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has something different going on. So some people are so focused on self, and there's nothing wrong with that, that's just literally not their focus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they checking things off the list, they getting things done, they're growing, they're building, they're developing. So for them, it's like they, in a sense, have a plan, not saying that things just work out perfectly where it's like, okay, I'm going to do all these things for myself, and as soon as I'm done, the relationship thing is going to happen, you know. But they might not even be focused on a relationship. They're kind of just like, people just people literally navigate life differently. You know what I mean? Some of us are just more focused on things kind of happening in a certain order, where some people are just a little more free flowing, where it's like the universe is going to go the way that it's going to go, and what's going to happen is going to happen, and it is good. You know what I mean?
Like as a single woman, like I don't think, and of course, like we only can speak for ourselves. Like I don't think for me, like it's hard being single today. Because I have been one of them people that have been invested in myself, because my investment in myself is going to prepare me for my next person, but also it's going to allow me to not inflict any trauma or pain onto the next person like I have done in the past, right? And it's also going to help me count my wrongs. Now, like, whether people agree or disagree with that, like, what I mean is the things that I know that I have done wrong in the past relationships, whether they were warranted or not, like I don't want to make those same mistakes again. Granted, we all make mistakes, but I have done the self-work. I've been to therapy, so I know that I'm far away from doing those same, things, and I'm not going to entertain the same activities and people that I once a part of time did. Like I'm like amped, honestly, to be in a relationship, because I know that I'm a better person than I was a couple years ago. I feel, and I don't, and this may sound like weird to somebody, like, oh, you make it seem like you got to be prepared. Like, not necessarily saying you have to be prepared, but I feel like you do, to an extent, to be in a partnership with someone. Before, I was going in everything blindsided, because at the age that I was and what my hearts and my intentions were at that time. But now that I'm older and I've done the work and I'm continuing to work on myself, I just know that things will be a lot better and a lot different moving forward in this dating pool or just being in a relationship. Like, I'm more healthy, so I know that my relationship will be healthy, because I'm not going to attract a toxic person. And if I do, I'm gonna be able to catch it quickly and not even go any further with that. And that's not to say that we all don't have toxic traits. Like, I'm not saying that I'm perfect by all means, but I just make better decisions than what I did before. And I feel like sometimes it's normal for people to get lonely, right? But it's like, are you truly lonely? Like, meaning like you need that partnership, or is it just you feel incomplete? Because I feel like, sometimes it can,
or you're just having a moment.
Yeah, and I don't deal with lonely moments. Like, maybe in the beginning, like when I was fresh out of a relationship, like, yes, like I was with this person for 3.5 years, so like everything was around that person and the family dynamics. But now, like I said, like being just staring off in different path in life, like I don't look at it like I need somebody, but like I want, or I desire, if that's the right word, like I'm not needy for it, but when it happens, like it happens, but I also don't want to restrict myself from anything, because I'm so in tune with being alone, if that makes sense. Like, how sometimes like you could just be so comfortable with yourself, so comfortable in your peace and your space, and by all means, like I'm gonna always be like that, but I want someone else. Like, I like somebody right now. Like I really do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it feels weird being old at the big age I am and being like, I got a crush on somebody, or like I'm really liking somebody. Like it, and Jess, you know that wasn't a freaking surprise. But anyway, but you see what I'm saying? Like it's just like I feel like the mid-30s. I'm back to like that 30 crisis. Remember when I turned 30, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going through a life crisis. Like, no, I'm going through a mid-30 crisis now. But no. But yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, being single, it has its pros and its cons. For me, it just tend to be more pros because that is how I have trained my mind. You know, I don't want to be needy. Like, I don't need anybody, but I desire somebody. Like you said, like I want a family. I want all those perks and those different things, but I'm not going to even say if it doesn't happen because I know it will. You know,
Right. And I feel all of that and agree with everything that you said, and I share the same sentiment. I think it's just one of them things where kind of switching gears a little bit, same topic but just switching gears as far as I think a lot of times, like, you know, everything kind of for some reason always goes back to social media, definitely just in this day and age. Yeah. I think a lot of times it's with things sometimes, and it's not even that you necessarily want specifically what somebody has. It is you just start to question your own situation, I guess you can say, a little bit more than maybe if we didn't always have certain things in front of our face sometimes, you know what I mean? Just as simple as like, you know, when is this going to happen for me, or, you know, I can't wait to have XYZ, stuff like that. So I think that's the one part of why being single can be difficult, just because certain things are just kind of always pushed in front of our face sometimes. But once again, you just gotta be strong in who you are and what it is you're doing with your life, and like your own life path, your own life journey. Because at the end of the day, you don't want something just to have it. You want the right thing for you. So
yeah, you know. And like that even to take it further, it's like, you know, you idolize, because we used that word in our conversation yesterday, idolize people or relationships, and because of what we see, the 15-second mini reel on social media, but we don't really know what the hell is going into their dynamics. You know, they could just be doing the reel together and behind closed doors arguing every day and really hate each other. Like, we've actually seen that play out on social media. Like, oh, they're a cute couple, they have a baby together, and then you go live and cuss out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like you you don't know. And I think the fun part about like dating and just establishing some type of dynamics is you guys get to create that foundation for yourself. And you know, like, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm one of the people like, oh, I can't wait to get in it, because I know like I can do so much more than what I have done in the past. But like I said, I'm not needy like for it. You know what I'm saying? And then social media can be a killer as well, because it can ruin relationships. Don't you think?
See, social media would just be the ultimate tool, but it's still the people behind it that ruin it. Because it's about how you use it. It's about what you're seeking from it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So yeah, to me, it's not really social media that destroyed the relationship. It just can be the tool that leads to the destruction, depending on how it's being used.
Like my sister, shout out to Bailey, like she one of the people, even for like a younger person, you would think like all they do all day is scroll, right? Post everything on there. She's like one of the few 20-something-year-olds that do not do it. Like relationship, business, like the subliminal messages, like she's so detached from social media. I'm like, that is amazing. You know, like everything don't need to go on there. I'm not posting this, but I do know that she posts stuff to her friends. Like, you know how like you have like your close friends thing or whatever, like she'll post things there, but like business stuff, like, and I feel like if a lot more people was more personable like about that, it would definitely lower the numbers for like all the drama and just, you know, like I mean, I don't post on my close friends list as often. I mean, I did a couple weeks ago, and I think I caught a lot of people off guard with my posts or whatever. But like the privilege of it is just also privacy, because you can pick and choose who you share those moments with, right? And I'm like, I updated my close friends list, and I'm like, it was a picture of me in a wedding dress. And some of the people I added to the close friends were like, wait a minute, you were married? And I'm like, close. I was in the process of getting married, but like people, that's a story for another day. But you know what I'm saying? Like that stuff will never make actual social media. The only reason why I just brought it up was to use it as an example of like everything don't have to be out there, but it can be still private, or for just certain people. Like I wasn't gonna send that to everybody. It was a joke. But yeah, we pretty much I think covered everything on our list.
I had something I just wanted to add to that whole last topic. Something I was thinking about kind of at the beginning of the question, but I said I'll save it to the end. As far as dating, what are you looking for?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Why are we having this? Like
I think it's important to like be intentional.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk. We gonna get into some business because like I don't have these conversations like on Chronicles of Virgo. So what is she?
I think it came to me because it's something that you and me haven't even spoken about just between the two of us.
Oh my God. So we getting personal. Like we are exposing our real text thread that's non-existent. What am I like looking for? So like I want someone that What'd you say?
No, I said either like what are you looking for in somebody or just in general, what do you want?
Okay, so I'll just go with, can we just leave it at qualities? Well, I'll leave it at current like qualities. Okay. All right. So turn your volumes up if you listening out there and you want to be all in my business, because some of y'all been in my DMs, but I ain't gonna put you on blast. But anyway, like I want someone that is intentional, right? Like, and that lives life with purpose. Now, granted, we don't always know what our full purpose is, but like you just have to have a reason for doing and not just doing just because, because sometimes doing just because in my experience it leads to like bad things. And I pride myself on trying to be intentional with things and at least leading from a heart space. So I want someone that does the same exact. Now you don't have to be perfect because I'm not perfect, right? But every effort counts. I desire someone that sees me for my heart and not for any of my physical features, because I honestly feel like a lot of the people that I have dealt with and I've talked about this before, a lot of people I have dealt with in the past are more attracted to my looks than they were my heart. Like they didn't know my heart. Everything was just based on like physical and what I could do for them or what I had to offer. So moving forward, I want you to see my heart and my mind before you see my body. And I know that matters to some people, like the physicalness. I mean, it matters to me too, but I really try to see people's internal before I make judgment about anything else, right? So that's major for me. And granted, sometimes I may not even know. Like you may just tell me like, oh yeah, you have a good heart, but you just see all the physical attributes. I desire someone that is patient with me, because I'm going to be patient and I'm going to be persistent. So I need someone that reciprocates the same back, because I may not always have it together, and I know you're not going to always have it together, but with patience, I know that we'll get there. And because I still deal with my mental health, I need someone to be nurturing and understanding, right? And these are all the things that I am and that I know that I offer everybody. So I'll offer it in my relationship. I need someone to be nurturing and understanding and like compassionate, because maybe I'm having like a depressive episode, and I don't need you to get mad at me because I want to isolate or I don't want to talk. I need you to be understanding about what I'm going through, and that when I am ready to talk, we would talk. Like, don't get mad at me because I don't want to. Like, that's just going to cause more conflict, because I've dealt with that shit in the past. You know, it doesn't feel good. You know, it just makes you not want to talk. Like, I desire, this is so weird because I don't think I ever like really talked like about this. Like, what am I looking for in a person? Like,
but you know, maybe saying how is just helping you just funnel through what it is you're true. You know what I mean?
Oh, and of course, like, you have to like believe in God, right? I'm not against like other religions and backgrounds, but we have to have a similar belief system, because God is the leader of my life, and I don't see myself being with somebody that doesn't believe in a higher power. Let's just say that, you know.
I agree with you and feel that.
Yeah, like I'm not judging people that don't believe in it, but for me personally, just my morals would not go right with someone that doesn't believe in something. You see, I said something, right? So that, you know, like people that like, you have to like be athletic, because we in the gym, like we getting it in. You have to eat healthy, or have the desire to eat healthy, but if you choose not to, that's like perfectly fine too. But I just know the longevity of taking care of yourself, right? Oh my gosh, I feel like I think I'm blushing because I never really like I have journaled these things, but I haven't, not openly. And like this is like getting in Shakita's business for real. And we have to like be friends, right? I feel like sometimes relationships lack friendships, and there is a value in creating that solid friendship foundation, because I feel like that can set the tone for the relationship. Now, granted, more things will come when you're intimate and all those things, but I did myself a disservice in the past by just jumping into things with people. And sometimes you can just get in things and just get to know people as you go away. That's your prerogative. But I desire to have a genuine friendship, because if, hypothetically speaking, like if things don't go right, like at least we have that to fall back on. And if not, that's okay. But I want to build, you know. I really want to build. I want to be sitting down. We have these like knowledgeable conversations about life. Like, how was your day? And I'm a reader. Like, you want to read a book? Like, want to meditate? You want to drink our green juice together? Like, that is where I'm at. Like, I need someone. And again, I'm thinking of things that like I have to offer and what I will do. So I would like that same stuff reciprocated. I need you to affirm me, right? And that's not saying that I lack confidence or anything, but I feel like it is good to lift your partner up, to pour into them. Like, I can do all that stuff myself, but I may or may not have done it enough in the past, and I know the benefit of it now. You know, like those things go a long way. I want to pray with you. Like, can we pray together? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Somebody may be listening and be like, damn, she asking for a lot. But I don't feel like I am.
You have the right to tailor your list, whatever way you.
Yeah, I think that's like the baseline right now. Like, ooh, I'm sweating over here because I wasn't girl, y'all, she caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting that. But like you said, it makes me mushy inside. And like I posted on Twitter a couple weeks ago, I was like I am a hopeless romantic. Like, I really feel like I have come into like being a hopeless romantic. Like, I love the idea of love. Like, I love love. And to be able to offer that to someone else and then to receive it, it's like one of the best feelings. Like, I have received genuine love in the past and I have given it. I know how it feels, But now that I'm in the space that I am mentally, and my mindset is just way different when it comes to like any type of partnership, I just can't wait to experience that again. I can't wait to offer that to someone else, because no one has had a love until they get it from a Virgo. You feel me? Or me. So how about you?
So one of the last words you said, so one of the last words you said was like the first thing I thought of that I feel like I had to start off with. Mm-hmm. And that was, I do want a true, genuine partnership. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, putting this together. Like, people just have this unfortunate thought nowadays that relationships don't take work. It doesn't mean they're supposed to be hard, but they do take work every day. You're talking about bringing together two individual people who may have, their own wants and desires. They've had past experiences. So you can't have the expectation that two people are just going to come together and things are just going to be easy breezy.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want a true partnership where we have each other's back. We're both willing to do the work. We both want and desire to do the work because we have a shared outcome. You know what I mean? Of course, I want somebody who wants a family, because I do want a family. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean it has to be defined a very strict and specific way. We get to define what that means, but I do want to be a mom. I do want to be a lifelong partner to somebody. One of the main things that I can honestly say I struggled with in dealing with guys in the past, I honestly feel like I haven't really been seen. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing about it is, like, obviously, me personally, obviously, like, people are different in a romantic space, but at the same token, I feel like I kind of represent myself the same in all of my close relationships in the sense that I'm very open. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean you know every single thing about me, but at the same token, people don't necessarily have to question how I feel or where I'm coming from. I'm very open about things that I've gone through. I speak about my past. I tell people about things I might be going through them as I'm going through them, because I like to share. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I like to share in that, because I truly like for people to understand me, So I feel like I've struggled in past relationships with really knowing that I was really being seen for who I truly am. I didn't always feel like I was made to feel that I was as special as I am. Like, I truly know I'm special, and I'm not saying it in a way like I'm better than anybody. Mm-hmm. I'm truly special in the sense that how I deal with people. Like, I try my best to make sure people know that they're feeling like they're heard.
I'm getting triggered right now because I just had a flashback. But like, keep talking. Mm-hmm.
So it's like making me feel that that I'm special is important to me. It's like, I want you to prioritize yourself, because you should come first in your life. But in doing your own thing, acknowledging that you see that I'm an asset to your life. You know how sometimes you can be in a situation where you feel like the person can take or leave you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't want to ever feel that way. That it's like, it needs to be like, I want you here. I enjoy having you here, and I'm going to do what it takes to have you here because you're an asset to me. Obviously, my thing, communication is very big.
How could I forget that? Yeah, you definitely have to be, and I don't mean like we talk every day. Like, I need you to be like attentive, like listening and understanding. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, to me, it's about open communication to the point we have to both be dedicated to understanding one another. Because how can you grow with somebody that you really don't understand? Mm-hmm. And one probably can personally attest, I put energy into understanding people. I may try to I think I overstand.
Because
I'm asking questions. But some people find it hard to communicate with me on the level that I communicate. And for me, it's not me asking for you to do exactly how I do. It's just simply about matching my energy, matching my effort. That's what it comes down to. you know.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, that's kind of my main thing. Like, we just have to both want the same thing, both be dedicated to doing work to achieve the same goal. Like, if I like you, if I love you, it's because you're you. I'm not wanting you to change or to be a different person. You know, yes, you have to consider me. You have to be open to considering my point of view and my feelings, but I'm going to do the same exact thing for you. It's just about two people deciding that they are choosing one another and they are moving forward with each other. So
you made my list feel like it was so much. But I feel like at the same time, like it was how I said it. We both desire the same thing. And you know, you use the word as choose me. I don't want to feel like I have to compete. Right. And I know a lot of times that's an internal thing with people, but also other people can make people feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want, I need to feel like and know, based upon your actions, of course, that I'm the only one, you know, because at the end of the day, like you said, you know what you bring to the table. Like, I know what my worth is. My therapist told me yesterday that I am very self-aware within myself. And that threw me off because sometimes I feel like, I don't really know, but I be knowing. Like, y'all know, I be knowing that I just be second guessing myself most of the time. But I need someone to choose. I need you to choose me. I need you to want me the same way I want you. You know what I'm saying? No more, no less.
right.
And, you know, and unfortunately,
when I think about that, for me, being chosen has nothing to do with anybody outside of me. It has nothing to do with another woman. Like, for me, that's not even the thought that comes in my head when I even say that. It's literally about saying, out of all the stuff I have going on in my life, I'm still making a conscious choice to include you, to have you around, to want to do this with you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I have to be a part of what you have going on. And it's not about monopolizing. Like, people who know me, I'm actually really chill. Like, for real, I'm not one of those, I'm not high maintenance at all. And I'm not saying against anybody who is the opposite from me. It's not about me saying like, oh, I don't require a lot. Why doesn't nobody love me? No. It's about the relationship and the connection. So to me, it's not about going on dates and going on trips and somebody spending money on me and X, Y, Z. I just love to get into a space where I'm just simply connecting with my partner, and it doesn't even matter what we're doing.
Right, because intimacy does not always mean sex. Like, there's different ways you can connect with people on an intimate level. Like, that is what I desire. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you what's the most intimate thing for me? Is bringing me in.
Bringing you in?
Letting me in.
Yeah, that's
just
yeah.
Opening, being vulnerable enough just to say how you feel or tell me about stuff, or just letting me see you with those walls down, because I'm never going to abuse that. I'm never going to use it against you. I'm just not built like that.
But you know, with that vulnerability piece comes trust. So like, that's the part that we play. Like, we desire for people to be that, but we also have to like give them a reason to trust us and be that safe space, right? I'm not going to use the phrase be your peace, because that's a whole nother conversation, right? I'm gonna just say be that safe space. Like, I desire to be your safe space, and in return you're mine, right? This took a whole turn in the conversation, so hopefully you guys stay tuned through the end, because I really got in my business, all thanks to Jess. But you know, it gives you something to think about as well. Like, you can, like, for me, I'm like sitting here thinking like, baby, I don't think back in the I'm surprised I even said half the stuff. Like, I know and like I know what I want, but like, to hear myself say it is a whole different thing. I'm like, I'm grown. Like, we grown out here. So this was a good conversation. This was a good pop-up conversation. Surprise, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Chronicles of a Virgo podcast with your favorite Virgo host, Shakita Johnson. I hope you enjoyed and will join us back next week as we dive into more candid conversations and topics. Please be sure to subscribe to our show and share with all your friends and family. And don't forget to drop us a star rating and a review. Please be sure to follow us on social media, in which all links will be in the box below and on our website at chroniclesofavirgo.wixsite.com. Thanks again and see you next time.